All right, guys, coming back for more here. Welcome back. Part 3 here on Bookshade. I am your host, Amira Blaze. Keeping it real like I always do, right? But for today's episode, guys, this is part 3. I'm just doing it back to back and getting all of my books that are related to paranormal romance or other types of romance books too. And just getting them in order, get my TBR going so that way I can just pick up a book, read it, pick up another one, read it. And I actually rearranged it, guys, again, just to make it easier for me to put it on the bookshelf. So I will be updating my, they call it Bookstagram, but I am also on Instagram at Bookshade and #1. And, I will show you the update on there as well, so you guys can see how I have my bookshelf organized. But I decided to do the TBR based on this website called romance.io, and the top bookshelf is where I'm starting, so that's where all my J.R. Ward books are, Black Dagger Brotherhood. And then I have underneath that, working down on the second shelf, I have all of my Outlander and so on and so forth. I actually put my Vampire Diaries right next to the Outlander because I know I'm just trying to read the series that are a little bit longer and get those knocked out before I read the shorter series. So for part 3 here, guys, of my romance book TBR organization using romance.io, there we go. I am going to be focusing on books from Jojo Moyes, Tanya Huff, Josh Ware. I also have E.L. James, of course, 50 Shades of Grey, Real Nif. And I have also a mixture of a little dark romance. I don't have a lot of dark romance. I just started getting into it, and it is an acquired taste. I will say that much. But I have a couple series from there. I'm also going to be showing you guys, because like I was saying, on the romance Q&A and book discussion that I was on yesterday, I did mention that I am a huge fan of Dracula spin-offs or Dracula alternative books. So I'll show you the ones that I have there. What else do I have? I have some Laurel K. Hamilton. You guys will see some of my paranormal romance book compilation books. And then we'll finish off with some Brenda Joyce, and that will be another major part here. And then we'll conclude, guys, the final part. Whew, we're all done with the romance book organization, right? I hope you guys have been enjoying this process. Let me know, of course, in that vicious comment section below. And then we'll conclude with my 2 favorite authors that I stand so hard for. And that is L.A. Banks and Anne Rice. And you guys will see the books that I have in regards to them. But let's get started here, guys. So I still have romance.io up, and let's go ahead and we're gonna start with Josh Ware. And I only have the first 3 books in this particular series. It is a paranormal romance, but the series kind of, from what I read, it's kind of like they're vampires, but then they're seeking revenge, all this mess. But I'll see how good it is. So sometimes, guys, and that's another tip for you, don't buy a whole entire book series right away. If it's on sale, I don't blame you. But sometimes it's good just to get maybe the first 2 books or 3 books and see if you like it before really investing into a bigger series, especially series like Lindsay Sands' Arginal series is really big. It's 30 books, So, and the other option too, and I know there's always a debate with this, but get ebooks as well too. If there's an ebook version, it's cheaper. And if you have, in my situation, you have limited space, that's another way that you can read and save space too, because you put it on your Kindle or your or any type of reading book tablet that you may have. So, all right, let's get started here, guys. And we'll start with Josh Ware first. Sorry for yawning. This has been this took longer than what I was expecting, actually, guys. Okay, so here we got Josh Ware. All right. Emptied by the Night. Ooh, that sounds hot. Okay, so this is part of a series that's called the Envy Chronicles. So the first book I have is Beyond the Night. So there's that one. And then after Beyond the Night, you have Embrace the Night Internal. These covers are very sexy and sassy. Yes, go on. All right, and then, nose is itchy. Okay, and then finally we have the third book here in the series that I have so far, and this is Abandon the Night. So those are the three I got right there. But apparently there's more. So there's Night Betrayed, there's Night Forbidden. Man, yes, Guan. I'm thirsty, y'all. I'm sorry. All right, and then there's Night Forbidden. And then there's Night Resurrected, and that's it. So I just have to get, let's see, 1, 2. I'll find out if they have these in ebook format. I'm gonna get it that way. But if the physical copy is cheaper, I'll get it too. But yeah, this sounds like an interesting series. There's some suspense in there. But from what I've heard, romantic suspense or romantic thriller. It's an acquired taste. It's not for everybody, but I wanted to it's a paranormal romance with some suspense in there. Let me give it a shot. All right, so we got that all organized here. So the ones that I am done with, I will put it, I'll put it back here so that I know. Okay, so then next, this is the series that I'm so glad I cannot wait to read these. This is known as the Blood series by Tanya Huff. It's also known as Blood Ties because of the show. So the premise of this is it's like a love triangle. Okay, so you have Vicky, you have Henry, and you have Mike. Mike is her ex, but he still has feelings for her. And you know how sometimes when you break up with someone and then you see him with someone else, you're like, I want that back. If the relationship is healthy, okay, if it was healthy. And we have Hatch. Hey, welcome to the program. And Hatch is like, what's up? And I'm like, what's up? No, welcome to the program here. Okay, so yeah, so it's like kind of like a love triangle. But it's a paranormal romance with some mystery in there. Think about the show if you're not a fan of it, but I love it, Supernatural. It's kind of similar. But Vicky falls a little more in love with one guy over the other. I won't tell you who she ends up with, but it's very juicy. I do love Henry. Henry is very very sexy to me, smart and all that. Hey, I can appreciate a guy that's got a Nickelback haircut. I can, yes, what? That Jesus hair is legendary, but but I digress, guys. So, all right, let's go ahead and organize this here. But yeah, I love this website. It's so easy to use. So then all you have to do is just put the name of the author. So Tanya Huff. Not Tanya Hug, with Tanya Huff. Oh, okay. Apparently I spelled Tanya wrong. Okay, so oh. Let's see. Oh wow, they don't have these books on there. I'm really surprised. Let me see. Oh hey, and we have Seviously. I tried. Welcome. And Hatch says I've never read a book. Really? Really? That's disappointing. Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Bookshade, and we gotta get you reading, man. Reading is fun, man. I know some people don't enjoy it, but for me, like that's like the first thing I find attractive about like a guy is if I hear that he's into reading, I'm like, oh my gosh, my brain is tingling with excitement. Yes. But yeah, I love. Well, not like, not like that. But yeah, I do enjoy reading though. Like as you can see. But man, I can't believe I cannot find these. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool. All right, so I'm just gonna put the name of the book. Maybe that might help. So let's say Blood Trail. Wow, this must be an older series then. Let me do Blood Ties. Maybe that might help. Okay, so yeah, of course, there's like different Blood Ties series here. Well, apparently they don't have this one, so I'll have to put this one on Goodreads then. Wow, I am really surprised they don't have this one. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. Let me get the book order here another way. That's crazy. Alright. I was not expecting that. Okay. Okay. Alright, let me get the book order here. Yeah, because the show came out in like the early early 2000s, but it was a good show, damn it. Okay, so I got the order here, but I'll have to remember to put this on my well, actually I can just put it on my Goodreads right now. So then that way I don't have to do it later. But yeah, I love Goodreads. So I use Goodreads if I can't like find it on here, but let me put it on my Goodreads here. Oh, and you can check me out, guys, on Goodreads. Just look up Bookshade, and you'll see what I'm currently reading. Now, I am doing that like 2020 book reading challenge. And my goal is to read 10 books for the year. I just kept it small. But so far, I am like one book behind. Because I've been really slowly reading Civil Warriors. But hopefully I'm done with it tomorrow. Because I really want to finish the Coco Chanel historical fiction book that I'm working on as well, and I just got to chapter 2. So I try to read 2 books at a time. So once I finish Civil Warriors, I'm gonna start with Black Dagger Brotherhood, the first book called Dark Lover, and then work my way through that, and then just work my way through all, everything in the order I have it. And then after that, I'm gonna switch over to some ebooks too that I need to read as well. But yeah, that's always the difficult thing, guys, about life sometimes, especially as an adult, is finding time to read. It's like crazy, especially when you have a lot of shit going on, All right, so let me go ahead and add these books here. So we have okay, so this is like the Vicky Nelson series. Let me look this up here, because that's what they have it on Goodreads. So let me do Nelson. Nope, it didn't bring it up. Alright, but so Goodreads has it, so I'll put it on there. So it's not considered a romance then. Alright, so I'm gonna put this as want to read. So there's 6 books in all here. And then there's like a couple spin-off books called like Vampire Detectives. There's some spin-offs. Here. Man, my TBR is gonna be ridiculous. Oh, there's a couple books in between. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so let me get the main order here. So the first book. Okay, so first book here is Blood Price. Yeah, Blood Price. So that's it right here. So we have Blood Price. And then the second book is Blood Trail. They have different covers, but this is what they call the media adaptation of it, of the based on the TV show. I was so sad that it actually got cut. So they never concluded it, which I hope they do, like make a movie or something. That would be so badass. Okay, so then after Blood Trail comes Blood Lines. There's Bloodlines. These are a little beat up, but that's okay. And then after Bloodlines comes Blood Pact. So this is like the main book series here. And they have like some other spin-off short stories, but you have to buy other books for that. And I'm like, Alright. And then you have Blood Pact. Okay, I showed that. And there's some short stories right there. Alright, then you have book 5, which is Blood Debt. This is my favorite cover because it has, this is Henry, Vicky, and Mike on there with his sexy ass. I like a mature man, okay? Alright, and then after Blood Debt, there is Blood, see, what is Blood Debt? Okay, and then after Blood Debt is Blood Bank. So I'll show you that one. So then there is Blood Bank there. So there are 6 books in all. So let me put these to the side. So I think I'll put these on top because they're... Alright, so these are done. And I'll be right back here, guys. Alright, here I am. Okay. So now this is another book series that I've wanted to read for a really long time. They did make a movie adaptation out of one of the books, which is called Me Before You. So these are by Jojo Moyes. And the reason why I actually am interested in reading this series is I love seeing like romance that you wouldn't normally think of. And this is a romance between a person that has a disability because of their condition and an able-bodied person. So I actually have done research on like romance and disabilities as well. It's really interesting actually. But it's very rare that you see a lot of, we're seeing it now, but there's very few book series that talk about like an able-bodied person with someone with a disability, and actually seeing people with disabilities as people. So that's why I like this series. It's kind of refreshing, and it's very realistic approach to it too. So let me get the order here. And we have Alp. Hey, what's up? Welcome. Or Al, welcome to the program. We'll go ahead, put Jojo Mona. Oh, I totally spelled that wrong. What is wrong with me? I must be tired, that's why. Okay, so perfect. Okay. And there's some humor with this too. Okay, that's cool. All right, let's look at the book order here. Okay, so the first book, this is the one that the movie is based off of. This is Me Before You. And then after that, I didn't know this, there is Me After You. And apparently this one will make you cry too. So I was like, okay, excellent. Then I didn't even know there was a third book in this series. It's called Still Me. So I got all three of them. I was like, it's not a bad price. So, all right. So let me put the ones that I'm done with organizing back here. Okay. So I gotta make sure I don't forget to bookmark these here. But I like the fact that you can search and then you can learn like, oh, maybe this book series is not romance, but this one is. So good to know. I am so glad I'm doing this. Oh my gosh, like. Okay, so we have that, so that's done. All right, so next, I know you guys are probably curious about my dark romances that I have. Now, as a disclaimer, dark romance, guys, is an acquired taste because you gotta make sure you do your research, okay? Because dark romance, sometimes it can have some topics that can be interesting. I'll just put it that way. So that's something you have to be aware of before you even get into dark romance. Now, there's different levels of dark romance, but for me personally, I would say get yourself familiarized with some more level 1 romance stuff before you get into dark romance. And like I said, I'll emphasize it. Please do your research before reading dark romance books, because sometimes the stuff that's in dark romance is shocking, where you're just like, oh my gosh. Like, so it is an acquired taste. I just started reading dark romances just recently, and it's an interesting genre. Some of it I like, some of it I could care less about, but let me show you what I have so far. This is like the smallest portion of my book collection. The majority of what I read is just vampire romance and generalized paranormal romance. All right, so many people would not consider this dark romance. They would just consider it regular romance, or BDSM romance. But the 50 Shades of Grey series, so let me show you them here. I got these a while back. So there's 50 Shades of Grey. We know this. Anybody who, reads romance books knows 50 Shades of Grey. And honestly, it's it's very vanilla, okay? Even though there are some elements of BDSM, the BDSM in these books, level 1. I'm just saying. So there's 50 Shades of Grey, and then the second book is better, 50 Shades Darker, and they made a movie trilogy that it was okay. Okay, and then you have 50 Shades Free, okay? Now, the books that I actually care about is, when I found out that these came out, I was like, I had to get them. So there's 2 of them. And the first one is called Gray, and the second one is called Darker, and I don't have that one. But what Gray is about is pretty much giving Christian Grey's perspective on 50 Shades of Grey. So when he met Anastasia, like how he really felt. And let me tell you, yes, Guad, it's interesting. But I have to finish like reading it. But I have read all of the 50 Shades of Grey books. What I think about it, honestly, is very vanilla. And I mean, honestly, I like, sometimes I buy books just because the books are so gassed up by people or hyped by people. So I'm like, what's the big deal? I read it. I was like, I get it, but it's not like the best book series in the world. I understand it's an excellent, like, I was like, if you're new to romance, if you're wanting vanilla BDSM, okay, knock yourself out. But it's not like the best romance book series. It's really not. There's so many others. But I consider it dark romance because of just the subject matter in there. The way that Christian Grey acts like is it's a very typical trope of a dark romance. And of course we have Soho. Hey, welcome to the program. And Soho says, oh my gosh, hi Bookshade. Hey, welcome to the program, my friend. All right, so now we're gonna get into some even darker romance here, okay? Let me add this to my bookshelf here. So we're just gonna say E. And for people who are not familiar with 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades of Grey, guys, honestly is the retelling of Twilight. That's honestly what it is. So, just to keep it real. I don't know why. This is crazy. And oh, Soho says you're into 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, some people are. I mean, for me, it's a little too vanilla for me, to be honest. So yeah, it's not my favorite book series. I mean, I watched the movie and I was like, all right. Once I watched 50 Shades Darker, I was like, okay, this is not too bad. But you're actually in 50 Shades of Grey. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. Yeah, it's not my favorite book series at all. You know, it was, to me, it was overhyped, you know? So, you already know. And of course, we have Zach. Welcome to the program here. All right. So now we're going to get into, in a moment here. Well, thank you for calling me a whore. I appreciate it. This is nothing new. You know, there's always this thing, like, if you read romance, it's like you're a whore or a slut or whatever. It's just like, you know, it's ridiculous. All right, so a mess. Okay, so let me go ahead and so yeah, these are the books that are out right now. So well, no, I've already read these, so, well, you know what? I may read them again. Who knows? Yeah, I probably will read them again because I know people are gonna ask. Because I get a lot of questions about this series, so. But yeah, Grey, I heard is really, it's supposed to be interesting too. And I have to read Darker as well. I haven't read that yet. Okay, sweet. Okay. So now I'm gonna put this back to. So that's been sorted through. Okay. So. Alright, guys. Now we're gonna get into the interesting stuff here. This is probably some of my more steamier kind of stuff, some interesting stuff we got going on here. So let's go ahead and we're going to get into the dark romance here. this is some interesting stuff here. Okay, so let me see if this will even come up. All right, so I'll check the author here and see. Ah, it actually came up. Okay, cool. I was not expecting that. Okay, that was come up. Because this is an obscure, like, series, so I am happy that this came up here. Alright, let's see here. Alright. Okay, so remember I said, guys, that alpha male is not really my thing, okay? It's really not. But this series it's a dark romance. This is interesting. Okay, so this series is called Russian Tattoos. I just got this, and it's by Kat Shihata. Okay, and this is the first book, and it's called Obsession. So I wanted to give this is a subgenre in romance that's called it's called mafia romances, and they are really popular now. A lot of people like these. So I heard about darker romance in Russian, like the Russian kind of like this style, like the mafia romances from Peace Love Books too. So I'm sorry, guys, I will mention her a lot, but she is like an awesome resource for romance, you know, for learning about different romance genres as well. And there are many others. But this book is a Russian mafia romance. And this is very dark. So I will say viewer discretion is definitely advised. Please make sure you do your research on this shit, because it is like, just reading the description here, I'm like, whoo, this is this is gonna be an interesting read. So so I have that, and then the second book is okay, so you have Russian Tattoos Obsession. Let me make sure that I'm being correct here. And then the second book is Russian Tattoo Prisoner. And then the final book here in the series it's a trilogy, of course, is Russian Tattoos Criminal. There is this whole subgenre of dark. It can be considered dark romance, but it's not. A lot of times they call it like the tough guy kind of romances. So it is an acquired taste. Like, I just started reading dark romance recently, but yeah, there's some dark romances where I'm just like, ooh, honey, I cannot. Then I got this one from Addison Kane, and this was highly recommended. It's called The Dark Side of the Sun, The Bastard Gentleman. So this one it's a historical dark romance, and it features a baroness and pretty much what they call a bastard-born gentleman. And yeah, he's kind of a jerk. So yeah, so once again, viewer discretion advised. This is a acquired taste. So yeah, dark romance it's not sometimes an easy genre to get into, but yeah, so that's what I have so far for dark romance. So I'll put that in the sorted section here. Okay, so let's get into some fun stuff here too. I have, like, you guys know, I love Dracula, right? And on the program here, guys, I focus on a lot of reading and all that kind of thing. So for adults. Excuse me here. So I love reading Dracula, like Bram Stoker. I mean, if you are a vampire romance book reader, you know Dracula is it's a good foundation, right? But then I found out that they actually have a subgenre within, well, I wouldn't say it's a subgenre, but it's just Dracula spin-offs. And yeah, I really, really like Dracula spin-offs. So let me show you what I have in regards to that. I'll bring these all up here. Get these all organized in the right order here. Now I think I'll do it like this. Now I have people fighting over me. Oh, come on, guys. I am nobody. Excuse me here, guys. Ooh, sorry. Okay, so excited to show you these. So the first ones I'm going to show you are Mina spin-offs, okay? So what if you've read the original Dracula, you know that Jonathan Harker be going hard for Mina, and you know they are to be wed. But what if Mina decided, like, you know what, I'm not feeling Jonathan Harker. I love the mysteriousness, you know, the manliness of Dracula, and I'm just gonna go with him. I'm sorry, Jonathan, but this is not gonna work. So we're going to see some variations here, okay? So, well, I'll put it with this one because that makes a little more sense here. Oh, well, no, I think it correlates. Okay, it correlates. Okay, so there's a couple spin-offs. The first spin-off here, and let me do this here. There we go. Okay, so first spin-off I want to show you. Oh, let me make sure I bookmark this. Okay. All right, and okay. Okay, and I'll just put this one here. It didn't come up together. That's interesting. Okay, so first spin-off I want to show you guys is Blood to Blood. This is the Dracula story continues. Okay, so what this is it's, you know, pretty much Mina, you know, well, in a way it's okay. So what if like Mina decided not to be with Dracula and she just wants to do her own thing? So that's what this is. So she's kind of like, you know, I don't want to be with Dracula anymore. I want to go back to Jonathan, but I have, you know, I'm a vampire now. I believe that's just kind of the twist on this. So there's this one, and then this one's really popular with, if you're really into vampire romance. This is The Dracula Story Continues, and this is by Elaine Berstrom, who also wrote Blood to Blood. This one is yeah, Mina, and I heard this one is really good too. So this is pretty much her, you know, being a vampire and, you know, being drawn to Dracula as well. So I just gonna let you guys know that if you guys come to my program and you cannot behave, I'm gonna have to let you go. I'm just saying. So if you come to my program and you wanna, you know, be a hot mess, I'm gonna have to let you go. So well, Zach, I'm gonna have to let you go. Sorry. No disrespect, but you know, and Soho, you're done as well. I'm sorry. So I'm not gonna tolerate that type of foolishness. No disrespect, but you know, when you come to my show, you have to act correctly. And if you can't do that, then you can't participate on my program. Just want to let you know. Okay, so let's continue here, guys. Sorry about all this foolishness, but unfortunately, this is what you have to, you know, deal with, and you know, all of that. So when you do what I do, or you know, whatever. All right, so So those are the two that are by Elaine Bernstrom that I heard are pretty good. This one gets really, really high ratings too amongst vampire romance book fans. And this one is The Secret Journals of Mina Harker. And this is called Dracula, My Love by Siri James, who is also the author of The Lost Memoirs of Jane. Okay, Zach, you're done. I'm not going to deal with that type of stupidity. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, guys. I apologize here once again. And to Zach, no disrespect, but, you know, asking me that type of question, no. Okay. Let's move on here. Okay, so, yeah, Siri James, she also wrote The Lost Memoirs of Jane Austen, which I want to get to. So this is, yeah, same thing. Like, you know, let's say, you know, Mina is just like, you know what? I can't, Jonathan Harker is not for me. And she becomes compelled to Dracula. So she kind of explains, like, you know, what turns her on about Dracula and all kinds of other stuff in here. So excited to read this as well. That's my Mina spinoffs here that I have so far. I've shown you. And then the other one here, and this one is considered more, if you know, the adult version of Twilight. That's how it's been described. But this is by Karen Exis, and it's called Dracula in Love. So that's what we have here. So those are my Mina spin-offs. But then they also have spin-offs, guys, with just Dracula specifically. And I'm sure they have probably Jonathan Harker spin-offs and etc. etc. But these are the ones that I've noticed that have been really coming up in a lot of vampire romance book TBRs that I've seen. Now I'm gonna do this one last, but okay, so with Dracula, guys, this is how you read the Dracula, the official Dracula spin-off, because there are some that are alternatives, but they're not like officially recognized by the Bram Stoker estate. Let me get some water here. But these are actually official, okay? So I have a flex-bound version of Dracula. This is so cool, guys. It actually has like the quotes, you know, of stuff that's said in the book and stuff, and it's flex, you know? So if you want like more of a soft cover, but it still has that kind of a little bit hardcover feel, then you want to go with a flex kind of bound book like this. This is so cool. So I have, and here's the funny thing, guys, I have never fully read Dracula completely. So you know what, that's where I'm going to start my TBR, is actually fully reading Dracula and then working my way up through there. All right, so then this is the official sequel, guys, to the original classic. So after you read Dracula, then you want to read this one, which is called excuse me here, this is Dracula the Undead. This is actually written with Dr. Stoker, who is like, I think Bram Stoker's great like grandnephew, and then Ian Holt as well. So this is pretty cool. So I'm curious to read this too, to see how this is gonna unfold. And then you read the prequel. You're like, wait a minute, Amira, like, shouldn't you read the prequel first? Doesn't work that way with this. So this one is really, really popular too with, you know, if you're into like vampire romance or you just like vampire books in general. So this is by, once again, Dr. Stoker with J.D. Barker. And this is called Dracul. So the order that you're supposed to read this is you read Dracula first by Bram Stoker, then you read Dracula Undead, and then you read Dracul. Because if you read Dracul first, even though technically it is the prequel. Oh, we have Book Lover. Hey, welcome. Appreciate you being here, and I'm glad you love reading. So if you read Dracul first, it kind of spoils a little bit of Dracula, because if you don't know about Dracula and you know him as a character, you're gonna be confused reading Dracul right away. So you want to read Dracula first, then the sequel, Dracula the Undead, and then Dracul. That's what I've kind of learned. All right, now the final book, guys, is very interesting. So Yeah, this book gets a lot of attention. So, oh, and Book Lover says that they love the book Russian Tattoos. Okay, that's cool that you've read that. Because I was wondering if it was good or not. I saw it and it just captivated me. I was like, Russian Tattoos, And it's a mafia romance. This is going to be interesting. All right, so this is an interesting take on Dracula, but from the perspective of historical fiction. This is a historical fiction on Dracula. It's called The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. This is like, when people think of historical fiction with Dracula, this is like in the top 10, like, or even the top 4 I see. So I had to get this too, and apparently Elizabeth Kostova really did really extensive research on it. So, and no, I don't, Book Lover. When it comes to music, I listen to classical music. I love smooth jazz. I also listen to a lot of rock and heavy metal too. And I love Asian pop music too. I'm a huge fan of that. Like hip hop and rap, I kind of like grew out of it. Now I do enjoy, like, I would say stuff like Tribe Called Quest, like that kind of stuff. Q-Tip, like that. R&B wise, I do enjoy some of the Weeknd stuff. I also love Amir Lalou. Who was she was the singer in Groove Theory. So yeah. Well, you know what, Book Lover? I'm not gonna answer that question. I'm sorry. I appreciate it, but I'm not gonna answer that. But I digress here. But yeah, those are my spin-offs. No disrespect, but it's just like today, the last couple of episodes, people have just been asking me things that it's kind of disrespectful. Like, come on now. So I mean, I have rules, guys, with the program. If you come here and you're just being rude to me or being disrespectful to me, you can't participate on this program. I've been doing this for a very long time, so I know how I'm supposed to be treated as being the host of this program. But to ask me a question like that, I'm sorry, no. All right, I just want to let you know. Okay, so let me put these aside here, since I have and then I have all of my Mina spin-offs too. And Book Lover says, I hope you have a better day. Yeah, I appreciate that, but that type of question, no. Not to be like that, but like, come on. All right. So and Book Lover saying, why is everyone being so mean? It's not being mean, it's a matter of respect. Okay, like, I understand that I am a female streamer, and I get it that the stereotypical perception of female streamers is that apparently a lot of us are bitches and sluts and all this stuff, but that's not true at all. There are a lot of women that are female streamers and women who work in different geek hobbies and different and different areas within the gaming industry that are very well respected, classy, well put together, intelligent women. And no woman deserves to be called a slut or being called the things that I've been called today. It's uncalled for, and I do not tolerate it on my program. So if you come to my program and you want to be disrespectful to women, this is the wrong show to do that. Just the same way that I would stand up for men too, because guys don't like to be disrespected. So the same thing applies to women. Women don't like to be called that type of stuff. Especially the type of show that I do it's very inappropriate, and it's very it's uncalled for. That's not how I carry myself. And I do take gaming seriously, you know, in the sense that I enjoy, you know, playing games and being a part of that. But to the, you know, but what I have had to endure is not, I'm not gonna put up with it. So if you come to my program and you say something that is disrespectful to a decent woman like myself, I'm just letting you know, in all due respect, you will not be able to participate on this program. Period. So that I don't tolerate that. Okay? All right, so we got that. Okay, so next let's oh wait, I gotta make sure that I put these all in. So okay, so first I'm gonna put in a lane. I don't know why people think it's funny, but it's not funny to disrespect women. I'm sorry. It's just like guys get pissed off when, you know, something is said disrespectful to them, and you know, I wouldn't tolerate that either, you know. So don't come to my show just because you see me as a female streamer and think it's okay to say disrespectful stuff that you know you would not say to a woman that you respect in your life. Okay, so seriously. Okay. Oh, okay, they have her books. Sweet. Okay, so let me see. Oh, this is actually these two books here. I didn't know that. These two books, Blood to Blood, The Dracula Story Continues, and Mina, are actually part of a series called Dracula Continues. So I may have to read that after I finish the Dracula spin-offs and everything in the official kind of order. So let me do that. You know, but now I'm just ignoring y'all because the ones that, you know, have said disrespectful stuff today, I don't have time for y'all today. Sorry. I'm gonna focus on doing this and focus on the people who actually come to my program to say, you know, to ask like questions and to actually be a part of it, and not ask me disrespectful stuff like that. I don't have time. All right, so I'm gonna make sure I add that. Okay, so I have this complete now. That's good to know. Okay, so these are good. All right, so I'm gonna put those. Yeah, I'll put these right. No, I'll put them right here on the side. And let me get this one. It's just sad that I have to deal with this all the time. It's really sad. All right, but let's move on, guys. You know, the other thing that I like doing too is I love checking out like used book sales and stuff. That's another way, guys, that you can save money too when it comes to romance books. But they also do the same thing for ebooks too. So I'll have to talk about that in the future. Oh, she has a whole bunch of series. Runaway Heiress. Oh, that sounds sexy. Dare to Defy. Oh, scandalous. Historical romances are really the thing in regards to the romance booktube community. It is very big. Okay, let me see if I can find. Okay, so the missing manuscript of Jane Austen. I will have to get this. I am a huge fan of Jane Austen. And guys, you will not believe there are so many like movies you would not even think of that are actually based on Jane Austen books, but it's been modernized. Like Emma, for example. So many different spin-offs of that. Oh, Jane Austen's First Love. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay, I'll have to get that. All right, so here's the book I'm currently reading, and The Lost Memoirs. I'll have to read that as well. Okay, cool. All right, so I got that on there. All right, and let me do Karen Access. But yeah, there's so many book series, guys, that come out every month. It's insane. It's crazy. I just can't keep up with it anymore. I'm glad I found this website today, so at least I can look at like what's new and stuff. But it is so hard to keep up. Oh my gosh. So let me go ahead and... So it seems she writes a lot of historical. Oh, she's the one who wrote the historical fiction Cleopatra. Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to... I heard this book it's so sickening. All right, so here's Dracula in Love. I'm curious to see what other books relate to it. Okay, so it does take place. Okay, so these are the similar books. Okay, I can see Throne of Glass being in there. Yep, Charlene Harris, Laurel K. Hamilton. Oh, Kale Geringer too. Okay. I heard these books are good too by I think this is Libba Bray. I heard is pretty good. Oh, that's pretty hot. Evernight. Okay. Yeah, you can see, guys, I'm starting to get into historical romance, but yeah, this is an interesting spin on the, on Mina, so I'm glad I got this. Put this. Okay. Up. Oh, like falling now on me. What's going on here? And so I have to read those two. All right, let me get the historian. And I hope you guys are enjoying this, because the reason why I'm doing it, guys, is I just want for people to see, like, what we as, like, some of us as booktubers, the process that we have to go through in order to, like, keep our stuff organized. And every couple of months I do take my books down, to dust the bookshelf and keep my books as clean as possible. Okay, so let's do... Yeah, I do like reading about Cleopatra too. But I will not lie, even though the movie, the adaptation that was the one with Elizabeth Taylor, it is historical inaccuracies, here and there, but it's so legendary though. It's like I don't even care. Okay, so let's do that. So we have so it seems she didn't write too many books here. So we'll do, let's see, this is a historian. Okay. Oh, excuse me, guys. All right. This is interesting. Okay. I want to read. Yes. I have a lot of reading to do. Oh my gosh. So much reading. All right, let's see here. Let's see if it'll come up. No, it did not come up. Okay, so I'll put in the author's name, so we'll say Dr. Stoker. Oh, well, at least it brought up Dracula the Undead. So there's only one in here, is this one. Huh, people didn't seem to like it, apparently. Okay. So we'll put that one in. So apparently this one, they do not consider Dracula as a romance then. So here, that one in. All right, let me put in Dracula here. That should come up. If it does not, oh my gosh, what? All right, let's see here. And if you guys know of any other like Dracula spin-offs or Mina or any of the characters within the books, let me know, because I would love to read it. So many variations of this book. Here? Oh, okay. Did not want to. Here. I'm just gonna put Dracula. I'm sure it's gonna come up with a crap ton of stuff, but okay. So as you can see, a lot of Dracula books here. Okay, I got that already. Oh, I wanted to read this too, Dracula in the Flesh, an erotic retelling of Dracula. I'm sure that's pretty hot. Oh, so sorry guys for yawning here. Okay, so I think that's it. So it's not in there, but that's fine. Because as I read it, I'll just put it into Goodreads instead. Okay, so then I have that, my spin-offs. Okay, so let me put these on the side. Okay, now we're going, Twilight has to be in there. So let's go ahead and put the Twilight in here. Twilight, I'm not really a fan of. I just got it because, honestly, because of the hype and it had vampires. So I was like, let me get that. All right, so let's do. These books are pretty thick though for young adult. I was like, man. So let's do the Twilight. Oh, excuse me. Stephanie Meyer. Okay, so book 1. So there's 4 books in the series. I like reading shorter series because sometimes when books get into the 30 or 40 of books, you're like, this better be good. You know what I mean? All right, so first book, of course, no duh, is Twilight. So I have that. And yeah, I got these really cheap. I think I got these for like $4 or $5 or something. And I was just like, man, people must have not liked these books to sell it for that price. Man. All right, so we'll add that. And then there's apparently Midnight Sun or whatever. So... Alright, so... Alright, then we have New Moon. I have that. And then after that comes Eclipse. Oh, hey, we have Caitlin. Yes. Welcome to the program. Yes, one. And Caitlin says, I also didn't really like the books, but the movies were entertaining garbage. Oh! Caitlin is savage. Caitlin is savage.com. Oh, yes. That's exactly how I feel. But let me tell you, them Twilight stands, oh, they will come for me, honey. I can't. It's so funny. But yeah, the movies, I just don't like my vampires to glitter too much like that. You know, I don't know. So many women swoon over Edward, and I'm like, what is the big deal? You know who I swoon for, honestly? Vampire Bill in a Stooky Stackhouse series. I would say that Damon. Okay, like I like my vampires to be a little cunning, you know. Lestat, you know, Vampire Armand. Yes. You know, like those type of vampires. Maybe I'm just more into the classic kind of vampires with a little bit of variation. But like, I won't lie. Once again, Twilight did help to revive the vampire romance genre briefly, but they still make vampire romance books, but it's kind of died down in regards to the whole hypeness of it. But they still do publish vampire romance books. If there was no interest in it, then I think people would not, get into it. But I would also say, if you want a funny take on the movies, I would say watch Vampire Suck. It's so campy, but it does make me laugh, though. I'm not gonna lie. And Dark Shadows was pretty good too, I've heard. And then what is this one? Breaking Dawn. So that's the last one here, but yeah. The book series, from what I've heard, it's very overrated. I haven't had a chance to kind of, tap into reading these yet, but everybody makes a big deal about them. So that are, into reading, vampire books. So I was like, oh, well, I might as well get it. And Caitlin's like, same. Yeah, I like my classic kind of vampires with like a little variation. So I want to get the books, but they're really hard to find now because it's an older series from the 90s. It's called Forever Night. Okay, and the premise of that series is it's a TV show as well. But they made the 90s was really huge, guys, for book adaptations of TV shows and stuff. So it follows this guy, hilarious name, Nick Knight. And he was this savage vampire. Like, he did not give two fucks about people like that. And, he had a humanistic quality to him. But then, once you become a vampire and you're drinking blood and doing all this stuff, in this particular universe, he was really savage. But then he got to a point where he wanted to kind of redeem for all the lives that he took from the blood drinking. And he decides to become a detective, and he solves mysteries and stuff. And it's very 90s, I will warn you right there. But damn, it is such good storytelling, from his maker, LaCroix, to, I think her name is Jeanette, yeah. And, they are the elder vampires, and, Nick Knight has this conflicting values inside of himself. Like, he loves a human woman, but then he understands that his nature, and when it comes to that kind of there's complexities to it, but it's a really nice show, and it's definitely vampire drama realness, but it's one of my personal favorites. So, but I have to try to get the book adaptations, but they're so difficult to find. Just like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, some of those book adaptations, good luck finding those, I'm just saying. But yeah, apparently there are all these like short stories and all this shit. So, but I have the main books. So glad I got that in order. But I won't lie though, I do like Decode, which is a song that was performed by Paramore on the original Twilight soundtrack. That song is savage. Even though I may not care for the movies, but man, that's savage. Song is savage. Okay, so we got that. I think, yeah, let me do Laurel K. Hamilton next. Okay, so I don't have many of these books because this series is long and the books are so expensive for Laurel K. Hamilton. I'm just saying. So I just got a couple. When I go to like the used bookstore, I'll look. So these ones I'm not even gonna put in order because there's so many books in this damn series, but they're really good and they're quite steamy. So if you like things like paranormal romance threesomes and like some of that stuff, but it's still got some mystery in there, and it follows Anita Blake, who's a vampire hunter. So yeah, it's pretty sweet, but it can get a little risque. So if you're sensitive, you may want to, I don't know, not read this series. But it's really damn good, though. Okay, so I'm going to put in her name. So it's Laurel. K. Hamilton. So now you guys will understand why some booktubers don't like to do like a bookshelf tour, because you gotta take all your books down and then you're showing, or like, you know, the book, like those bookshelf tours where, you know, you're showing your collection. That's why some people don't do it, because you gotta take all of your books down and then you have to show it all and then put it all back, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it can be a tedious task. So all right, let's see what we got going on here. So, okay. So we have Nita Blake Vampire Hunter series. Do this? Okay. So, all right. So there is short stories called Strange Candy. So definitely want to read that. All right. So the first book I actually have, this is like beat up, but it's Guilty Pleasures, but they have different covers for it. But I was like, I have this one, so I'll get some book tape and we'll be good to go. All right, so we have Guilty Pleasures. I'll just put it over here. And then I don't even think I have this one. No, I don't. There's Laughing Corpse. Then after that, you have Circus of the Damned. And then you have Lunatic Cafe. I don't think I have that one. No, nope, I don't have that. And she also has standalone books as well. Then you have The Killing Dance. And then you have Burnt Offerings. So as you can see, I don't have a lot of this series because it's expensive, I'm not gonna lie, because it is a popular series. I do have this one. This is Blue Moon. So I do have that one. Yeah, I gotta get some book tape because some of my books, they look like they're falling apart. It's like, oh my god. Alright. This is a compilation book. It's called Bite. And then Obsidian Butterfly, I do not have that one. I do have this one. I got this one new a while back. This is Narcissus in Chains. That's a name right there. Good God. Like, tell me about yourself. I'm a narcissist in chains. Okay. Alright. Like this. Okay. Then after that, there is Cerulean Sin. I don't have that one. I thought I had it, but I don't. I have this one, Incubus Dreams. That's how it looks like right there. I have this one, Micaiah, which is book 13. This was one that was previously never before published, and she was like, ta-da! And then we were all like, yay! Okay. Okay, maybe I got too excited there. All right. Then there's Danse Macabre. I don't have that one. Book 14. The Harlequin. I don't have that. I don't have this one either, Blood Noir. I do have this one though, Skin Trade. I can show you guys that. So there is Skin Trade. Just on the side here. Yeah, I just love how juicy her books are. Like, at first, you know, it starts off kind of, you know, a little lukewarm, and then you're like, whoa, pretty hot. Maybe that's just me. Okay. And I don't have this one, Bullet. I don't have a lot of these guys, to be honest with you. This one apparently, what is this, an ebook? Okay. I have this one, book 21. That's quite a jump. So this is Kiss the Dead. So the name enticed me, okay? No, I'm being ridiculous. I'm being ridiculous, guys. All right. And then I don't have any of these, like dancing. I don't have. Oh, this is a novella. Man, this is such a lengthy ass series. Like, good God. All right, so then you have Affliction and Jason with sexy abs. Got Dead Ice, Crimson Death, Serpent. I think this is the latest one. It was published in 2018. It's Serpentine. I'm curious now to see what series are similar. Okay, I can see Immortal Instruments. Yep, Immortals After Dark. I could see that. Darken You. I've never heard of that. Fate Chronicles. Mercy Thompson. I've never heard of that. Oh, this is okay. I've heard of that one. Alpha Omega. Oh, I haven't heard of that. And yeah, I can see Stooky Stackhouse. Never heard of this either. Hex Hall. That sounds interesting. I think I might put that on my list here. Let's check this out. What is this? Wait, so she's discovered she's a witch. Her father was a warlock. That sounds like a normal day, you know. Huh. Okay. I think I might read these. These sound enticing, actually. And it's a shorter series, even better. So this is what I like to do, guys. Like, I'll see. I'm like, I want to see what's similar, and yeah, you can find like Raven Cycle, Dark Side. Interesting. I've heard this series is amazing. I actually have this book here. I think I'm gonna add this to my TBR too. See what you guys do to me. No. And we have Just. Hey, welcome. And I keep getting the Lizzo comparisons, guys. Y'all gonna make me famous, man. Thank you. But no, I love Lizzo, man. Lizzo is so confident and just, she is, as she said, you know, that bitch. So thank you for that. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, I should get this series too. I heard these books are just amazing. They're really highly rated, so, and it seems like it's a shorter series. Not too long, like, you know, Nita Blake is. So I'll add these here. Hell yes. I have a lot of reading to do. A lot of reading. But reading is good. Especially paranormal romance reading. Man, so many. Yeah, well, actually, this is a big series. Yeah, I always pick these like really big paranormal romance series. I gotta start reading like shorter series. Well, thank you, Just, for calling me a ugly ass bitch. It's not the first nor the last time, but you know, you have a nice day. Alright. Yeah, this seems like an interesting series too. It kind of has that like vampire hunter kind of. Huh. Look at this. Oh, Women of the Other World. Strange Angels. Never heard. Some of these I've never heard. Man, these abs. Yes. Okay. This series I've heard a lot. It's a young adult series, but they say it's really good regardless. This Chicagoland Vampires. But you know what? I'm gonna add this Women of the Other World in here because this sounds very interesting. Oh, this is like a werewolf series. I'm not really into werewolves. I don't know. But I will say though, you know, werewolf guys are pretty sexy. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, this sounds interesting. The Strange. But I'm gonna put that Chicagoland Vampires because so many people have told me about this series. So I'll put this in here. this is a longer series, but damn it, I'll probably read these too. So this is very similar to like the LA Banks Vampire Huntress Legend series. It has that similar kind of feel from the descriptions I have read. So I'll have to put that on there. And see, you know, you know what, yo? You know what I find funny is when you guys come in my show and you say this stuff and say no one cares, but it's like you must care if you're spending this much time checking my show out, right? Like that's the thing. Like when people say they don't like my show, right? I'm just like, why waste your time watching something that you don't enjoy? Like you could be doing something so much more productive with your day instead of watching something that you don't care about. But it's like you must like it if you're gonna, you know, spend this much time and calling me, you know, names and stuff like that. So I appreciate it. If someone calls me ugly and stuff, I take it as a compliment now. So yeah, I'm gonna get this series. Hopefully it's ebook form, because that would be great. All right, so all the pretty monsters. Okay. So there's a lot of different series that are similar to Anita Blake. That's good to know, though. Okay. So. Okay, and Laurel K. Hamilton also, just like Anne Rice, has spin-off series as well. Like, well, not spin-off series, like standalone books. This is a standalone. This one's called A Lick of Frost. I think I just got it because of the name, to be honest. No, I thought anything with Laurel K. Hamilton, I'm like, I gotta check this out. It's got to be good. All right, now we're getting to the final part here. So I'm gonna show you guys my compilation romance books. So this is I think I got this one from the dollar store, actually, from Dollar Tree. This one is called Hunters, Heart and Soul, and it says 2 all new stories of the Hunters. So I saw Immortal Warriors and Forbidden Hungers, and I was like, damn, okay, let me get that. So I have this one. And then I have Best New Paranormal Romance that is edited by Paula Goran. So I have that. Apparently this one is really, 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 really hot. And this is when you know a book is got some good smut, is when you turn the back of this book, guys. It literally says, warning, this is a really, really hot book. And I'm just like, oh man, I had to get this. So this one is by Sharon Page, and it's called Blood Wicked. So I was just like, this is gonna be good. If it has a disclaimer on it, then you know it's going to be a interesting read. Okay, so then next compilation book I have, and this is non-smutty here, so I'm being classy for a change here. This is Great Vampire Stories, and this includes stories from Bram Stoker, of course my other favorite, Edgar Allan Poe, Mary E. Braddon, Edith Wharton, Sheridan Day, I think it's like Fanu, and Arthur Conan Doyle, like the classics. So there's so many other people in here, but as soon as I saw Great Vampire Story, I was like, yes, have to get that. Okay, so then my other compilation book that I have here is this one here, and this is, I just got these recently. These are the Mammoth Book of Vampire Romance, and these are edited by Trisha, it's like Telep. And then this is all short stories, but they're all vampire romance. And I was like, oh, and I was really lucky to get both of them together. So here is the first volume, and then this is the second volume. So I was like, ooh, I am so excited. So let me get these all in here. All right, so we'll put the Mammoth We'll see if they have these compilation books, because it seems they do. Oh, I think they may. Mammoth book. Oh, they have one of paranormal romance. Oh, I have to get that one too. Oh, they have a whole bunch. Oh my. Okay, let's go through here. So apparently there's a mammoth book of ER romance. I'm not into that ER romances. Oh, I would like this one, the Regency romance. Yes. All right, let me just do this and get it all together here. Let's see here. Okay, so there's Arco. What else here? Okay, so yeah, definitely gonna get the Scottish romance because I appreciate a good Scottish daddy. Yes, God. Okay, so then. Okay, so this is volume 1 and 2. Okay, cool. ER romance. That's. Okay, so I got that to Scottish romance. Oh, Southern Gothic romance. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Mammoth Book of Regency romance. Okay, I got that on there. Paranormal romance, volume 2. Yep, totally going to get that. Here. Ghost romance. Okay. Oh, there's Irish romance. Oh yeah, definitely want to read that. Irish men I find to be incredibly attractive too, and Scottish men as well. I have to add that one on later. Okay, here is. Oh, they have different name for it. So this is. Okay, so I'll have that, and then here's the. Oh, time. See, I'm trying to get into the time travel, but I just can't for some reason. But I'm gonna read Outlander, so who knows? Maybe I'll fall for it. Okay, and we got one more stack here, and then we'll be back for the conclusion, y'all. So I'm glad that you guys have been enjoying these live episodes, and sorry for all the messiness. Oh my gosh, but that's just what comes with being the type of person that I am. And for me, we're LGBTQIA friendly here. I am heterosexual, but I'm an ally. So for me, I feel it's important to accept people for being who they are. So that's how I run my show, Okay, so let's do the final. And these are all newer additions to my bookshelf here. And I showed these a while back here, but. And Caitlin says, preach! Yes, okay. I accept everybody for being who they are. It's like, I'm just not that type of person to, be like that. You know exactly what I mean, guys. Don't you get tired of people judging you all the fucking time, So it's like, to me, I wanted to create a show where, adults can come and be themselves, because we already have to deal with enough bullshit in life, especially in regards to reading. You know how many people make fun of me, guys, for reading? Like, being like, why are you reading romance books? Or why are you reading this type? Why are you reading historical fiction? Like, get the fuck out of here. So I got tired of that, and I'm so glad that I have become a part of the BookTube community now. Like, I finally feel like I've met my people. Like, people who are not going to judge me on my skin tone like that. This is the most accepting community, guys, as a person of color, just from my experience. This has been the most accepting experience that I have ever had. Like, I don't have people telling me my skin is burnt, calling me the N-word and all this dumb stuff. So I really appreciate that acceptance, guys. It means so much to me that you will ever know. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I've always had friends from the LGBTQIA community. They were so accepting of me when so many people were not accepting of me, or they thought I was weird and shit. So that's why I have always been an ally to the community, because I can relate to that experience, even though I'm not LGBTQIA plus myself. but I can relate to being treated differently or not being taken seriously and being shitted on for like no bullshit reason. So, you know, I can relate to that experience. So, you know, all adults are welcome here to this program. But if you come and you act immature, I'm not gonna put up with that. So I'm just letting you know, no disrespect, not trying to be a bitch or, you know, but I just think it's time for people to respect, you know, people who are streamers, because we work really hard on this, guys. Like, I should be sleeping right now, but I'm up because I wanted to share this experience with you. Do I have to share this experience with you? No, I could just organize my books and call it a day. But because of my love of reading and just the love that I get from you, you know, from you guys as well, that's why I work hard on this. You know, I know my show may not be the best quality in the whole world, but I at least try. You know what I mean? So, you know, respect to me, guys, is a serious thing. I take it very seriously. So if you come to my show and disrespect me, you're not going to be able to participate anymore. I don't tolerate that type of foolishness, okay? Just to let you know. But let's get back to it, bitch. All right, so okay, I think I'm gonna put this right here. These are all my compilation books. All right, the final pile here. These are all what do you call these? I would say, yeah, these are paranormal romance. One is more vampire centric and the other one is just your general, but I gotta get some book tape because these books are like, they have been worn, you know, some better than others here. Okay, so the first series I have here, this is the Masters of Time. So let me go back here. Oh, excuse me, guys. Okay, so then we're gonna look up Brenda. Oh no. Brenda Joyce. Yeah, I will be getting book tape this weekend, so I can just on the older books that are kind of like, they look like they could fall apart. That's what I'm gonna be book taping on that. So I'll have to get some. But let me tell you, book tape, expensive, y'all. All right, so see if I can. Oh, she must be a really popular author because it seems she has a lot of books here. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I did the wrong thing here. All right, so she has, I think she writes like historical romance. All right, so oh, you can check out all series by her. Okay, this is cool. Oh, she got Scottish medieval. Oh, that sounds sexy. Spy Masters Men. Ooh. Scandalous. Okay, so here's the series here. It's got some Highlanders in there and shit. Okay, so I think I have all of them actually. Okay, so the first one is called Dark Seduction. So that's this one. So that's the first book. So Dark Seduction. Then after that comes Dark Rival. So do it like this. Then after that you have Dark Embrace. This is the better one that's not like worn down. So you have Dark Embrace. That's book 3. It's called the Master of Time series. And then you have Dark Victory. Okay. And then after that, the final book, I have all of them, I believe. Yeah. So Dark Lover. So there we go. Yeah, if I can get a complete series, guys, I just try to do that because it's just so annoying when you get one book and then you can't get the second book, then you have to like wait months on end. So if I have to spend just a little bit more to get a complete set, I'm gonna do that. Okay, And then finally here for this part, I have these are, let me make sure I bookmark these in there. Want to read? Maybe I'm just a sucker for book covers with some sexy abs on there. That's probably it. A mess. Okay, so let me go back here. And once again, I hope you guys are enjoying this, because I am. I love like just looking through my book collection and seeing like how my tastes have changed, you know, or new things that I'm into in regards to reading here. So I have here Colleen Gleason. And this is a complete trilogy, actually. All right, look her up here. Okay, so she apparently has this is a Gardella Vampire Hunter series. That looks interesting. Let's check this out. It's got Italian vampires. Oh hell yeah. Definitely needs to get this. Hopefully they have like an ebook version. That would be great. But sometimes when a series is so like old, it's like kind of tough to even see if they would release it as an ebook. Oh, this sounds really interesting. So let's go back here. All right, well, let's check out all the series she has here. Okay, so Heroes of New Vegas. Okay, this series sounds really interesting, this Vampire Hunter series. And she has contemporary gothic romance. Interesting. Oh, she has a medieval herb garden. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the Regency Dracula series. Okay. So, ooh. Oh, Draculita? Okay. So you have the Hunter's Rogue. Oh, Lucifer Rogue. Okay. Interesting. I don't have this one. Oh, I have it here. Okay. So it's just 3 books. So the first book here is, it's just separate vampires. So this is the Vampire Voss. So we have that. Then the second book is the Vampire Dimitri. Oh, look how sexy he is. Yes, go on. All right. Then Vampire Dimitri. And then the final book here is the Vampire, it's like Narcisse or something like that. So then there we go. Well, that took a while. Good God. But it was worth it. You guys enjoyed it. All right, so we're gonna finish the grand finale here in a moment, guys, and this is the moment you've been waiting for. I am going to be showing you my entire Vampire Huntress Legend series by L.A. Banks, as well as my Anne Rice book collection, what I have. Yes! So excited, but you guys can keep in touch with me following ways. I am on that Instagram and Twitter, which is at bookshade and #1. And all right, guys, we're gonna do the conclusion here in a moment here. But like I always say, remember to embrace the darkness of reading. I'll see you guys in a few moments again here. Take care, guys.